Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany, Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Link City. But before we do, we just want to remind you to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come up. We do top 10s, we do vlogs, we do reviews, all sorts of stuff. So just make sure to subscribe so you can see all our stuff as it comes out. Okay, Link City is designed by Emilian Alcae, and it is published by Blue Orange.
All right, so this is kind of a game where you are all city planners. One of you is going to take turns being the mayor as it goes around the table, but everyone else is going to give ideas of where they think certain buildings should go and fit within your city. Ultimately, what it amounts to is kind of a mind-melding game. You're trying to figure out what the mayor is thinking as you're all work together to try to build this city. And the better you're able to build it and mind meld, the more points you're going to get and the better you're going to score. Let me give you a quick overview of how to play. All right, here's our setup for Link City. One player is going to play as the mayor each round. The person to the left of that person is going to kind of set up where our cones are going to be. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build this city all together. We're trying to mind meld with the mayor where certain buildings are going to go. All right, so before we know any information, we're just going to simply put some cones out there. We might do something like that. So basically what we're saying is we're going to build buildings, or we're going to try to build buildings at these cones. And for instance, this orange one here is the intersection where recycling center and garage sale are. So the building that the mayor puts there has to, at least in some way, in their own mind, make sense of why they're going to put it there. So now we're going to go over to the mayor's point of view. Everything's going to be behind this little shield. They have pictures of those three different cones over here on their tiles. They're also then going to randomly draw three of these tiles from this large box full of these random city tiles. They are double-sided as well, so they don't like one side, they can go to another. But let's see. So we've got a French restaurant, we've got a dry cleaner, and we've got a hardware store. We're trying to figure out which of those make the most sense over here in our actual city. Well, the recycling center and the modeling agency, it might be kind of fun to put a dry cleaner there because the modeling agency has a lot of clothes. The recycling center is basically just taking things and washing them. So that's our reasoning of why we're going to put our dry cleaner over there in the blue cone. So we'll do that, and let's see. Going back over here, we've got a French restaurant, we've got a hardware store. The yellow cone for the French restaurant made sense to me. We've got the modeling agency, we've got a movie theater, so maybe it's kind of like an upper-end dining area in between the two of those. That also leaves the spot for a hardware store right there, which makes sense for a garage sale and a recycling center. I think I kind of like that. So we're going to switch these around. We're going to put the French restaurant for the yellow. We're going to go like that. And then we're going to flip over our cones so that way no one knows what we chose. Once we're all set, we're going to reveal that. So the rest of the team is going to see, okay, we've got a dry cleaner, a hardware store, and a French restaurant. And they're going to try to figure out where we placed them in our city. Let's go ahead and move these over here so we can now see kind of everything all together. And now the other team's going to do, or the rest of the team, they're going to choose to put these cones in the various places. They're all going to talk about it amongst themselves. The person who's the mayor cannot say anything. They're going to talk about it. They're going to say, yeah, I like this one over here. I like this one over here. Let's do this. This is what I think the mayor did, or whatever the case is. But now it's the mayor's turn to reveal once they've locked in their answers. And they're going to see how many of them were correct. All right, so once they were completely correct, the blue match up with the blue, we'll take that tile and put it with the blue cone. We were able to get that one all together, which is perfect. We couldn't all agree where to put the hardware store and the French restaurant, so those are not going to get added to the city where their cones are. Instead, they're going to get added to the city at diagonals. So now they're going to be at weird places on the board, making things a little bit tougher from here on out. What we're ultimately trying to do is we are trying to get as many of these little trees as possible. See a tree there, a couple trees there. The more trees that we've built together by having tiles all matched together, the better and more valuable our city is going to be. If you ever have a perfect round where all three tiles lined up together with what the mayor was thinking and all the rest of the players were thinking, you actually get a little bit of a bonus. Actually, you get two different bonuses. The first one is you get the white traffic cone. That's added to your supply, and both sets of tiles are going to get a white cone as well. Now you have the opportunity to add up to 4 tiles at a time, and therefore having the opportunity to get more of those trees every turn. However, now you have more choices, more complications, more choices, more chances to get things wrong. But at least there's more opportunities to get a lot of points. The second benefit you get is you get one of these tiles here. There's an amusement park, there's a rocket launch pad, harbor. Whatever the case is, when you have a perfect round, what you get to do is you get to add this somewhere on the board. It's going to give you some free tree completions, which is great. But it does give you kind of a drawback, which is the rest of the game, this kind of acts like a property line. Nothing can go out from that. It kind of blocks that row or column off for the rest of the game. At the end of the round, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate around the board so that way more players get a chance to be the mayor. We're going to play a total of 6 rounds. At the end of the 6th and final round, that's when we're going to add up all of our tree connections and we're going to see how many points we have. On the bottom of the rulebook, there's kind of a little chart here that tells you, based on how many trees you have, this is how many points you get and how well you did. So the more points you get, the better. That's going to be your score.
A lot of modern games do this, and I always appreciate it when they do, and I still want to point out that they also did it in this game. They had the cones, right, and they're different colors, so you know what you're talking about. But just in case you have people that you're playing with that have color issues, all the cones are labeled by a stripe. So one has 1 stripe, the other one has 2 stripes, the last one has a 3rd stripe, and then the white cone doesn't have any stripes on it.
Or it's all stripe.
Yeah, or it's all stripe. I don't even know, like, what does that even mean?
It's all stripe.
That would mean there's no stripe.
Yeah.
There has to be, in order for something to be a stripe, okay, I want to know, in order for something to be a stripe, there has to be something else there, right? Like, a stripe by definition means there's a different color there. There's something else there.
It's just one big stripe.
No. I need to know in the comments below. I need you all to tell me I'm right. Bethany, I'm Bethany. That Ryan is wrong. And that stripe, you can't have one solid color because you need another thing to be a stripe. I feel very passionate about this.
I don't know. I feel like when I paint my wall, it's like I changed it from one stripe to another stripe color.
That doesn't even make sense. Just comment below about how Ryan's crazy and I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, back to the game, back to Link City. I just really appreciate when games do that. It's just a very subtle thing. It doesn't even take like any effort to do that, but you're ensuring that more people are going to be able to play your game.
I like how when the first time you break this out, when you play with people who've never played the game before, it kind of stair-steps itself into the complexity. So when you're starting off, you only have the 3 original cones, so you're only placing 3 things at a time. You're only trying to have 3 options to try to figure out and figure out as you're planning things out. But then once you've kind of mastered the level of 3 cones, then you're rewarded with a 4th cone, and that 4th cone gives you more options and therefore more complexity. But it also means you have the potential to score more points as well because you're able to get more tiles out quicker. Also, you get the bonus of when you have a perfect round, you get to add in one of those extra little tiles that kind of fills things in for you, which is really nice, especially if it's a problem area on the board that you're just like confused about, not sure how to fill that in. Yeah. You get a free tile that you can just place wherever. That's how I use them. Just fill in something that's too complex for me to figure out. But I like how you are introduced to the game with only 3 cones, and then once you're more familiar, then you get to have the 4th one, and your scores are going to get better and better as the game goes on.
I also like how Ryan kind of mentioned this. You can fill in that cone, you can fill in a space, right? So you don't have to think about that. But you also kind of decide how many points you're aiming for. So you can put a cone that's right by only just 1 tile, and you're like, I know this is only going to get 1 point. This is all that's happening. Or you could put a cone that is connected to more than 1 tile, knowing that you're going to get more than 1 tree if you get it right.
And that's the key.
It's also going to be a little bit more challenging because sometimes the cities that are connected to it just don't make any sense to have something else connected to it. So I like that you can kind of like go for the easy, or you can just go for the really challenging at the same time.
To me, this game is all about those hilarious moments when you finally reveal things. I kind of like it when things have gone very badly, and we had a complete, disruption of what the mayor thought versus what everyone else around the table thought. I love that moment of the reveal, flipping it over, and sometimes that makes it even more special when you do get a perfect round. You're like, we did it, because before that, all the rounds were like, what were you thinking? It's like, well, I put the gym next to the whatever because of this other reason that the story I had in my head that you didn't know that I was thinking of. Well, I had this story that I was thinking of too, but I didn't tell you about it, and I couldn't, so we mixed matched. Hilarity ensues, lots of laughter at the reveal point. Okay,
so this is where it gets sad. We are playing this game, and we are playing with our 11-year-old. The game says 8+ in it, and I drew a tile, and it made me upset as a parent that tile was in there. I don't mind explaining certain things to our daughter. Like there was one tile, it was a distillery. She doesn't know what a distillery is. So, we could explain that. But this specific tile was, it was called safe injection site. And I was upset as a parent that was even in the game. I don't know if there's like just a cultural difference with that, with what people are aware of, like catacombs is also in the game, and I'm sure plenty of young French children are very aware of that, whereas my child wouldn't. So there might be something.
We don't have a lot of catacombs here in
yeah,
Iowa.
Yeah. So I don't even begrudge that, but that one just really, as a parent, like it really upset me. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there whose kids aren't familiar with what that is, and it took me out of the game. I could not enjoy the rest of the game while we played it. So I don't know. I did not like that as a parent. And I know that a lot of you that watch our stuff are also parents. So I just wanted you all to be aware of that. And also, this game is just not for me. Wasn't even that I got frustrated. It was that some of the things that you could do just don't make any sense. Like there wasn't an actual answer. There wasn't a puzzle that you could find out. There was just no rhyme or reason. It's just all in your head, all in somebody else's head. Basically, essentially, it was one person trying to figure out what, 2 to 6 people are thinking.
Yeah.
As opposed to all of those people trying to figure out what one person is thinking. And I preferred the second one as opposed to the first one in my gameplays. So this is like a hard pass for me. It, however, is not a hard pass for our 11-year-old who has asked for it every single day. Oh my gosh. So of course I'm playing this game I don't like because my kid wants to play it. It's not a pass for her. It's a pass for her to keep.
Yeah, so we do play with her. There are a few tiles that, because based off of what Bethany was talking about,
yes,
we took out of the game. We just did not think that they were age appropriate or things that we wanted to discuss with her at this point.
Yeah.
A lot of the age things on boxes have to do with testing,
yeah,
like as far as materials, safety, and all that stuff. And so 8+ makes sense for these tiles or whatever.
And we also played with our 7-year-old.
Or the gameplay. You're right, it has to do with gameplay. So maybe it's the 8-year-old can play this mechanically, but subject matter-wise, that's not usually built into the age range.
Yeah.
And for this game, those few tiles, it did matter for us as parents. I will say I did enjoy this game. I liked it. It had a weird thing to me where it felt like it had some party game aspects while trying to do like a board layout strategy thing as well. Those two things didn't match for me. When I play a party game, I like to not keep score. I like to just be silly. I like to have fun. I'm getting to know someone, how they think. I'm, just trying to just have some fun, maybe make some absurd answers or whatever with low stakes. But here, this is a board, you're trying to build it out properly, and you're trying to get a good score. And so they that's a weird party game, not party game. It was weird, so just,
just so you know.
There you go.
It was weird.
Those are tidbit for you. I don't like to play this kind of game to win, but with points in it, at its core, you kind of have to.
Yeah, and our 11-year-old wanted to every single time.
Yeah, she wants to know what score. How do we do? We do better than last time?
We can't make it past a certain tier. So that's why she's like, we need to get up here. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.